Hey everybody, it's Cam. Welcome back to the channel. It's Tuesday, March 2nd. It's about 1:10 p.m. and let's talk some stocks. So for me today, it's one of the few days I wasn't at my computer all day. I left about 11 p.m. or p.m. a.m. Pacific time. I don't know if you guys follow the news about the Dr. Seuss books, but I sold 2 Dr. Seuss books on eBay. Scrambled egg super for $300 and then Mulberry Street for $400. So I was running ship those out. So if you have Dr. Seuss books laying around you're never going to read again, might want to sell them. But anyways, we'll jump into Thinkorswim, and we'll start out with Rocket Company. So I mentioned this in my pre-market video. Pre-market video was way down on views. I don't know if I'm getting shadow banned or something weird, but talked about pre-market. It had earnings last week, so last Wednesday, Thursday, Friday moved on up, and then huge squeeze today. It's heavily short stock, like 40% short. But honestly, during the day today, until 9:45, we're just kind of sideways. Got above this 61 fib, couldn't break the 78 fib, and then it just happens to be so at 9:45 we get a big move. And if you actually go look at the news, so here on TD's platform, their own news picker, whatever you want to call it, so you'll notice right here on the bottom, so 9:45 uptick in volume. 9:46 John Naharian, so CNBC guy, follow him on Twitter, talking head, big options dude, on CNBC's unusual option activity highlights Rocket Company's March 23.5 and $37 calls, and then boom, this thing just takes off like a rocket. Only one big pullback here, half an hour later, until it hits 37, so it just magically hits that strike price for all those calls, and then we squeeze up even higher, up into the 40s. We halted in here on the way back down. All right, so hit 42, quick pullback, halted at about 39. Pulled back in this 36 area, and then continued up after hours. We got one more halt here about a half an hour ago, and then still moving up here in the close. And then Cramer talked about the company. They had he couldn't understand the reason why people short on it. And then after the close, they put out, or right about the close here, whoever this Chris Camillo Dumb Money Live guy is, apparently he took like $1 million position on it earlier, but he's saying that they're using AI to look at different data analysis to get revenue stream from longer life cycles of companies. So basically, they're gonna be the disruptor of mortgages. So that could be a good thing. And then I guess people are saying the downside would have been if rates keep increasing for mortgages. But if they go up, everybody's got to deal with it anyway. So if they are on the forefront of this new tech disruption, that they would be a key player going forward. But just to look at their long-term chart, so you can see right here, just the fib, this 100 was based off their IPO low and high. So we're already basically up at this 161. So probably definitely be looking for profit taking to be happening tomorrow. But you can see all this above 34. That's all new, right? So new shorts got in there. So this thing could look to go higher, squeeze even more. And Wall Street Bets, Reddit people are going to be jumping in, retail's jumping in. So this thing could be the crazy play of the week, taking away momentum from AMC and Gamestop. So we'll go to AMC next. So just here, look at the daily. So basically a red inside bar from yesterday. So yesterday's high is 9.45, today 9.4. Yesterday's low 8.42, today's low 8.51. And then down the bottom you'll see the volume. Yesterday 143 million, today's 77 million, so almost half the volume. Like I mentioned, pre-market, it didn't have the volume coming in, so it didn't look like the move was going to happen. And then you'll see here we just stayed right around the 78.6 fib. And if we go to the 5 minute, you can actually see the price action of the day. But basically downtrended all day, big drop right about 11. RSI went oversold, buyers came in, and then we happened to close right at 893, right back on essentially the 78.6 fib. But it looks like we're trending lower in the after hours period. Can't speak. But there is a huge, look at this huge block trade right at the close. Big selling volume on that, 4.8 million. So that's what, almost more, that's like 6% of the volume for the entire day was on that block trade after hours. So definitely going to be on watch for tomorrow. I think the long-term pattern, cup and handle still intact here. I think this rising 9 EMA is probably going to be the next level of support if this thing does drop for the daily, and then if probably there'll be hourly levels that are around this 9 EMA as well. And we'll look at GameStop. GameStop actually had a little bit more of a move, but as you can tell, still inside candle from yesterday, and volume, so 49 million, basically 50 million yesterday, 33 million today, so about 2/3 the volume from yesterday. Basically, it had stronger momentum today, and then double top later in the afternoon, so 10 a.m. here on the West Coast, and then sold off the last 3 hours of the day. But it too closed right, bounced off basically this fib level, closed a little higher at 118, but now we're sitting right on that fib, basically $116 range here after hours, so we'll have to watch and see how this moves in post-market plays. And then just a quick look at the other stock I mentioned this morning, NNVC, essentially an all-day fade. Got one pop off the morning open in the first half an hour of the day off this 50 unit moving average here for the 5-minute chart, and then basically kind of faded all day just like Aslan did yesterday. I mentioned that could happen. The other stocks that were up today, good movers, are AMTX. So yesterday it was up on news that they basically released their projections to have $1 billion revenue by 2025. So we got to pop up, slight pullback and gap down on the open, but bounced right off this 200 unit moving average, and then just basically incredibly bullish all day. Then about 10:30, when the market started falling, it started falling in the day as well. If we go to the long-term chart on this, right, so we're in new territories for this stock here. So here we got our cup breakout and just took off. So these cupping patterns have been playing really well and can produce large moves. So we'll see if that happens with AMC and GameStop again. And then we'll go to AMRS, Amyris Inc. So they had their earnings yesterday. So let's look at the long-term chart here on the daily. We got our cup here, push forward, consolidation back in the 22 and the 9, moving average, and then high volume day to day, right? So 26 million. Previous high over here, 14 million, so almost doubling that. So a lot of volume today, and it too was very strong, just like AMTX. Using the 5-minute, 9, and 22 as support basically all day until 11:20, and it sold off into the close, just like the markets. And then we might as well just look at the market real quick here. So the S&P, you can see, started dropping here at 10:30, and then later here, right at the noon power hour, sold off pretty hard, basically down almost 1%. So I think, long term now, there's a ton of lines here. We're probably just going to consolidate here in the range for a little bit until news breaks out either way. The Senate might pass the COVID-19 relief bill sometime this week, saying Friday or Saturday, probably a late night 1 a.m. type passage scenario, like they always like to do, which is some BS, but it is what it is. And then lastly, we'll look at Bitcoin. So transition over page. So Bitcoin here. So this was basically the market open. This is 30-minute chart. And then we got like the peak right after the market open, and then just steady downtrend. Didn't really like to try this 50K level again. Sold off below the 48 consolidation that we were having from yesterday. Now we're down in the 47, 48 range, which, I guess you could saw it right there before I clicked off. See how fast it loads. But so basically finding support here in this consolidation from last week. So we'll have to look for those crypto stocks. They're basically down a little bit. SOS was basically sideways, basically flat for the close, but as you can see, it had a big red candle. If you look at the 5-minute chart, you can see it, right? So we gapped up after hours, peaked right up the open, and then sold off pretty hard, and can similar, right? But the downtrend wasn't as hard. Kind of bounced off the 78.6 fib, but also had the drop in the open. Got a little strength here into the close. So we'll have to watch these crypto stocks and Bitcoin going further into the week. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. If you could drop a like and subscribe, that'd be great. I hope you guys are getting something from these videos. And as always, if you got something for me, you want me to look at something, please let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks.